That tape. Let's do it. That girl, the one that guys fall for, in love with juicy and couture. She knows she wants to find herself, and she loves and wants nobody else. In her mind, there's so much to obtain. In her eyes, she sees the world again. Oh no, someone find her love. Oh no, someone find her love. That girl, the one that's beautiful. Her eyes can see into your soul. Now her smile can melt away your heart, and her kiss can make you beg for more. In her mind, there's so much to obtain. In her eyes, she sees the world again. Oh no, someone find her love. Oh no, someone find her love. She hurts and she always keeps a smile. She runs and takes him out to the mile. I see it's only 'cause she knew this game. You create the rules, and now she has built a wall. You can't climb the castle's much too tall. You can't break the walls of her leg. You can't soothe the wounds of her despair. But who cares? You'll never see that side. And who cares? She's down for the ride. She lives only for the thrill, and yet she longs for something real. In her mind, there's so much to obtain. In her eyes, she sees the world again. Oh no, someone find her love. Oh no, someone find her love. 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 Someone find her love.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Can You Connect? And of course, this is Mr. Walk That Walk. And the previous episode was communication disorders. So this episode is going to be on an offshoot of that one in regards to dating and life, struggling with different communication disorders. And what goes into them is language disorder, speech disorder, stuttering disorder, and social communication disorder. But we'll start off with language. So, in regards to language, people have issues with saying the word or finding the words to say. They have troubles with forming the words as well. They often need a explanation. Like they often need somebody to give a semi-description of the words, such as if they're looking for water bottle, we'll just give the example of something you put water in, and then maybe they're able to think of, oh yeah, it's a water bottle. They often have issues with their grammar as well. So in certain times in school, they'll have problems with their essays or paragraphs, and they'll get marked up a lot for grammar errors. Socially, they often would plan. What a good thing would be to do to make things a bit easier is to plan what to say before they say anything. Because if they don't, they may often stumble on a few words, which will often cause that person to feel embarrassed. So if somebody's feeling embarrassed, they're not, that's kind of going to, hit their self-esteem, and the likelihood that they'll communicate again will be less due to that embarrassment. Oftentimes they say it feels like they're in a different world and that they don't belong due to if you having concerns with communication, then it's almost like you're not part of everybody else because everybody's on a different level and you're on this level, and it's hard to even get to that level where you could talk to almost anybody and everybody. So that's where that comes from, where they feel like, you're in another world where you can only really talk to people who talk your way, but there's not a lot of people, and they're usually not. And if a child does have that, they're often not in the same classroom. Like if there is classrooms like that in school, it's for kids with learning disabilities and it's for kids with special needs. And they often have a hard time explaining themselves or giving a description. They have a hard time thinking of words and trying to find an explanation for it. So you often get frustrated with not finding the right word or finding the right thing you want to say to somebody. And some people often don't take the time to listen, because if you're communicating with somebody who has certain issues like this, it's going to take time. And since people don't really take the time, it's hard for them to make friends, and they often get lonely because they're not building those bonds. So having them working on maybe slowing down so they don't feel like having them feel like they don't have to be like everybody else, and just communicating in the best way they see fit, and talking to the people who are going to just take time and listen to them. Those would be the real friends to have and to keep. And oftentimes they say speech therapy is helpful. It helps them be able to form a sentence better. Because oftentimes people just, they want people to understand them, and that could help with that. Parents should also take their kids to go get an assessment if they're seeing a different in their child's speech compared to other kids. So often between 1 month to like 4 years or 5 years, working on not hopefully parents don't avoid the problem, avoid what they're seeing and writing it off, rather than just handling it when you see something is wrong or something is off about your kid. For speech disorder, so that was language disorder, and we're going to get into speech disorder. People often have a list, which I have myself. I do have a bit of a list, and trouble with big words, problems with memory, problems with ordering certain words or reading. So oftentimes people or kids may point to words. So pointing to words, sounding it out, and relating the word to an object, those things could be helpful. And at times when that person is struggling with communicating, they'll get upset and they'll just go back to pointing at things rather than trying to use their words. And we want to encourage them to use the words so it gets easier as they do it. And something to encourage them to talk is them finding something they really enjoy and really are into. Like, let's say they're into cars, dinosaurs, the sea, like sea animals, like something that catches their interest. They're going to want to talk about it. And then we want to keep that interest and keep, really pour into what they like, because that's the more they're going to want to talk. And the more practice they get, the better they will be at communicating. and getting that practice in. And oftentimes parents feel bad about not being able to understand their kids and what they're saying. And we'll often go to the black community as well. We're going to get a hint on them. So we often talk a bit different ourselves because wherever we are in the world, we kind of speak different and we got a lingo. And sometimes in certain schools, it could kind of get misconstrued as a speech disorder when it's just lingo from the community. So oftentimes it's good to have people, black people in different jobs in schools as a speech therapist. So you're able to be like, oh, okay, no, that's just how we talk. That's just normal rather than an actual disorder that we should be looking at. Like, like even nonverbals, or or like all those things mean something in our community, and it's funny, but some people don't really communicate nonverbally, so they don't really know like what we're doing when we're doing that. So sometimes you'll get a diagnosis when you don't really need that. It's just part of the communication. But oftentimes, when people have certain communication disorders, they have a low self-esteem. So they feel bad about not being able to connect with other people. They, people say that it will be okay in the future, but it doesn't until they're able to learn those skills so that they can communicate better. And the next one we're going to get into is stuttering. So stuttering is more so they're repeating a certain word and they can talk, but often people don't really take the time to listen to them because they take a lot of time just to say what they need to say. So oftentimes that could be challenging, and they often stutter in random moments, and they take time speaking. So, and if they do take their time, the stuttering may not be as bad, but they often worry about communicating due to stuttering. They often worry about what the other people will say about them. They often worry about getting teased about about them stuttering, and they often have anxiety about speaking due to getting teased or getting looked at different. People often want to be taken serious and not looked at as a joke or look at as, oh, that's cute that you stutter. Be like, no, like I'm trying to convey a message to you, so I need you to just listen. So oftentimes people feel that way. And a pointer for that was stuttering would be working on saying the answer to yourself 3 times before you speak it. And the last one we're going to hit on is social communication. So oftentimes maybe this person is not responding and they're having issues with greeting people, they're having issues with understanding social cues, and they're having issues with sharing information. And it's not repetitive like autism, so that'll be another one we get on, but this is separate from communication disorders. But oftentimes it is a little similar. So there's problems with, let's say, understanding verbal language, understanding nonverbals, struggle with taking turns while speaking, struggle with sarcasm or humor, struggle with facial expressions, and maybe often do odd faces that are inappropriate in the moment. So let's say if everybody's happy about something, they may be frowning, or if everybody's upset about something, they may look like they're smiling. So these all cause issues with communication because they're not reading the room. And if you're not reading the room, then people are often not going to be as accepting of you. So these are all the things to keep in mind if you have a friend, if you're dating, or if you got family members who have communication disorders, whether it's language, whether it's speech, whether it's stuttering, whether it's social communication disorder. Now these are just more ways you could be aware of it, and more ways we could be understanding towards each other going forward. So these would be the things. This will end this episode for today. Definitely thank you for watching. And of course, we're going to be supporting Black-owned businesses. The Black-owned business we're going to be supporting today, they are a repair company. R2B Appliance technical support. So I ran into him randomly. He was fixing one of my friend's washing machines. So was it? Yeah, washing machine. He'll fix a washing machine, dryer. I think they fix fridge. I think they're in the DMV area. They may go further, but I'll put the website and link in the description, everything in the description. So definitely check them out. Of course, support the person who does the music, the intro and outro, the person who did my avatar, and myself. I'm a clinical social worker in the state of Maryland. So I can do individual, family, or couples therapy. So definitely thank y'all for seeing this episode, and y'all definitely have a good rest of the day and a good rest of the week.
Our lives, filled with drama. Our homes, they feel empty. Our dreams, slowly shatter. And our bodies are bruised and battered. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Oh, why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah. When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah. Our emotions have no home. Our feelings have flown on. Our beautiful women can't see the beauty in them. Our men are not standing strong. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Whoa, is there a way for a future commitment?